As yesterday, he leads Seattle with 33. Cano is also second on the team in walks and steals. Of course, Robinson Cano and Derek Jeter were teammates for years. We just showed you the live ceremony of the Mariners franchise saying in their own way goodbye to Jeter. Mariners pregame continues right after this.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Ford. We are local. By AM/PM, too much good stuff. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, welcoming five-time Grammy winner and country superstar Wynonna and the Big Noise July 18th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Welcome out here to the pen. The Mariners already 3-0 against the Yankees. 3 wins in 3 separate months. Has that ever been done? I'm not sure if it has or not. I don't think so. We go up to the guys calling the game, Dave Sims, Mike Flowers. That was unique. I don't think it'll take 3 months, guys, to play this series.
We're in big trouble if that's the case,
Yeah,
that's
right.
for sure. All right, Brad, thank you, and welcome, everybody. We are thrilled to be back home here in Seattle as we take a look at those aforementioned 3 games against the Yankees. So much success for the Mariners in those 3 games.
It's been dominant. You take a look at the team average, 235 for the Yankees. The Mariners hitting 313 runs per game. That's where it all counts. 6.7 runs per game for the Mariners. Mariners pitching, holding the Yankees to just 2.3. So the 3 games, the Mariners have dominated the Yankees. So it was rough. They earned it. They had to do it, as Brad said, 3 different months. But they ended up getting it done, so I'm looking forward to this series.
Glad to be back. We thought we were going to have this monster Japanese matchup tonight with Tanaka against Iwakuma, but he's pushed to tomorrow. Vidal Nuno, a fast-working pitcher, a youngster, goes against Hisashi Iwakuma.
And Iwakuma was outstanding in his last start. It was in Atlanta. He went 7 innings, did not give up an earned run. So we know what he's going to do. He's going to try to get his fastball over each, rework the corners, and then get to that good split for him. He has been throwing a few more sliders as you take a look at the numbers against the Yankees. He beat them 89 pitches in that outing. He went 7 innings, giving up 2 earned runs.
Going to be a lot of fun here today. Iwakuma coming off an outstanding performance in Atlanta. Just minutes ago, they concluded a ceremony as the Mariner organization celebrated Derek Jeter, who's retiring after the end of this season, and then 5 years from now headed to the Hall of Fame. Rick Riz was the MC at Edgar, Felix, Jay Buhner, Robinson Cano. A lot of hugs all around as they gave him some great mementos to remember the great city of Seattle, and Robinson Cano gave him a watch to top it off. The Yankees in town, a buzz in the building, and the Mariners playing some really good baseball. Glad you're with us, everybody. Yankees, Mariners first pitch straight ahead. Welcome, everybody, to T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball. A beautiful night, cloudy nonetheless, here in Seattle as the Yankees are in town. The Mariners playing some fantastic baseball, turning heads all around the industry. Glad you joined us here for Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, Root Sports crew, and a good crowd on hand here at Safeco Field as Brett Gardner is going to stand in against Hisashi Iwakuma to get things started as we come to you from the A and above Safeco Field. Yankees come in with a record of 31-31. The Mariners coming off a 6-1 road trip. They're 34-29. Playoffs started today. If you want to play that game, the Mariners holding the second spot in the wild card as we take a look at tonight's umpires. Chris Siegel, new umpire. He's got balls and strikes. Mike Malinsky's at first. Mark Wegner at second, and Mike Winters at third. 66 degrees here in Seattle. Gardner hitting at .279. Mariners have held him in check. Triple foul. Mariners hit a lot of marks in the road trip. They took 3 out of 4 for the Rays, 6-1 total on the road trip. They've won 3 consecutive games, 8 of 9, 4 by shutout, 5 games over 500 for the first time since the last day of the 09 season. Pitch just misses outside to Gardner, 2-2. out see Hiroki Kuroda. Tanaka thought he was going to pitch here tonight, but they moved him to tomorrow. That also sets him up nicely to open up their forthcoming series next week against first place Toronto. 2-2 pitch. Slap foul. Joe Girardi, former player with the Yankees, led them to the World Series championship back in '09. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gardner's gone, one down. Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain, future Hall of Famer, and here he comes. Let's listen to the ovation he'll get here at Safeco Field.
Stop. The captain, Derek Jeter.
Jeter ranking 8th on baseball's all-time list and 4th all-time in the American League list with 3,370 hits. Announced his retirement at the beginning of the season. It's been a good farewell tour for him. And he had a session with the media before the game, started about 4:50. Pitch outside. And Jeter said he's overwhelmed at times at how positive the fans have been. His main concern is about him picking up his game and the Yankees picking up their game as a team. Bouncing ball up the middle, base hit.
Well, we've seen that over the years. Typically stays back up the middle of the field into right field. This ball bouncing over the pitcher, Iwakuma. And he ends up getting a base hit. Take a look at the rest of the lineup for the Yankees. Following Jeter, it'll be Ellsbury. Want to keep him off the bases. If you look at the Yankees, one of the things that they do well is steal bases. Ellsbury leading the way with them. Good to see Teixeira back in the lineup for the Yankees. 10 home runs on the year for him. McCann, Solarte. And then you have Ichiro hitting 8th in the lineup for the Yankees. Brian Roberts will round out the 9. And for Iwakuma, 4-2. 2.66 ERA, 50 and 2/3 innings, 36 strikeouts. How about just 4 walks on the year for Iwakuma?
So Jeter aboard. He's now 5 out of 7 against Iwakuma. Here's Ellsbury looking at a strike. Ellsbury 1 for 3 against Iwakuma. Yankees come in 3rd place, American League East. Toronto leads by 5.5 over Baltimore, 6.5 over the Yankees. Slicing drive left field. Coming in to get it is Ackley. 2 away. They got a real dogfight over there. The Blue Jays about a month ago were in last place. Now they're 12 games over 500, led by Edwin Encarnacion and Jose Bautista hitting home runs at an unbelievable clip. World champion Red Sox, look at that, 7 games under 500. The Mariners just took 3 out of 4 from the Rays. Here's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira missed all of last year, wrist problems. Been in and out this year. Had an operation. Try to fix it. He's 1 for 4 career against Iwakuma.
Well, he comes into the game hitting just .238, but he has 10 home runs. So he's always a threat. Mariners have the shift on. Cano playing out on the grass in right field. Kyle Seager, the 3rd baseman, on the right side of the diamond.
All 2 strikes with Jeter at first. Ichiro Suzuki batting in the 8 hole, playing in right field, a familiar spot for him. 1-2 to Teixeira. Up high, 2-2. Condolences go out to the family of Bob Welch, great pitcher for the A's and Dodgers, who passed away today at age 57. Sorry to hear that. Cy Young Award winner in 1990. The A's. Ball's fouled off. As mentioned, a good crowd with the Yankees in town. And the Mariners again playing some outstanding baseball. Bringing out a lot of fans here tonight. Expect upwards of 40,000 on Thursday. 2-2 here to Teixeira. Line drive. Here comes Jones at the plate on the hop.
This looks like a fastball. Yep, there you can see it. Little two-seamer at 89 miles an hour. Pitch down and away from Teixeira as he lines it back up the middle. And look at Jones. Thought maybe he had his glove turned the wrong way and that might skip by him, but he was able to make the play and get it in quickly, keep Jeter at second base.
Brings up the veteran switch hitter Carlos Beltran. Recently returning from the DL. He had issues with some inflammation in his right elbow. Yankees getting in about 2 o'clock this morning from Kansas City, where they were rained out. Heavy rains wiped that game out yesterday. Strike one to Carlos. One of 4 switch hitters in the lineup here today. Teixeira, Beltran, Solarte, and Roberts. Then a struggle for Beltran, working his way back into a groove. 1 for 11. Road trip. Goes the other way. Down the line. Fair ball. Jeter will saunter home. Teixeira to third. He'll get a stop sign there. An RBI double for Beltran. 1-0. Yankees. RBI for Beltran is 17.
And this is a breaking ball. It's left up, out over the plate. Typically, Iwakuma will work down in the zone. If he elevates a pitch, it will typically be his fastball. But that's 79 miles an hour as Beltran hits it down into the corner.
Brings up Brian McCann. Big free agent acquisition, or signee, I should say, from who had played in Atlanta. Going to get 225, 7 homers, and 27 runs batted in.
Iwakuma 21 pitches here in the first inning.
Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Strike one to McCann. Roki Kuroda, big part of their rotation, 38 years old. 1-1 the count. Mariners catching the Yankees on a down note these days. They lost 2 out of 3 at Kansas City. And they've lost 6 of their last 8 ball games. Up the middle, smothered. Miller, outstanding play. Bloomquist can't hold on the bag. Teixeira scores, holding at third is Beltran. Bloomquist, a great job to get that throw and prevent Beltran from scoring.
Well, that will be a base hit and an RBI for McCann. Right up the middle, really on the other side of second base. Brad doing everything he can to keep the ball on the infield to throw. Unfortunately, just wide, pulling Willie off the bag.
So Rockies start here for Iwakuma. Terrific play by Bloomquist at first. Smoke still out with the ailing quad muscle. And Hervis Solarte, switch hitting third baseman. A really good surprise for the Yankees, hitting at .299. So the Yankees with 3 consecutive hits after 2 outs. Scored twice. Ball to Cano. And throws him out. And that'll do it. But everything got started for the Yankees by the captain, number 2, Derek Jeter. Yankees get 2 runs on 4 hits. Mariners coming to bat. Meter out in right field, part of the Yankee defensive alignment. But first, the Mariners batting order against Ivan Nova.
Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Chevron. Leading off it will be Willie Bloomquist, and it's Jones, Cano, Cole Gillespie, the DH tonight, hitting cleanup. You can see what he did on the road trip. .368 average with a home run and 2 RBIs. Seager hitting 5th, and it's Zunino. Saunders back in the lineup. Playing right field. He will hit 7th, and it's Ackley and Miller rounding out the 9 for the Mariners.
Vidal Nuno is the pitcher, and Ivan Nova on the mind.
And for Nuno, 1-2 record, a 5.33 ERA. So he's given up 10 home runs. All 10 of those home runs hit at Yankee Stadium. Has not given up a home run on the road. In fact, he's pitched much better on the road. His ERA on the road, 1.86. So it hasn't been comfortable back in New York, but on the road he has pitched well for the Yankees.
Willie Bloomquist in his 1,000th Major League ball game pops up to Teixeira. 1 out.
Look at the defense for the Yankees. Gardner in left field, Ellsbury in center, Ichiro out in right. And on the infield, Solarte, the third baseman, Jeter and Roberts playing up the middle, Teixeira at first, and Brian McCann will do the catching. See the home road splits for Nuno. He has not pitched well at home at all.
James Jones, the hitter.
He continues to impress, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And heard from one of his high school coaches, a guy named Ed DeLessio, played at St. John's University, and he raved about James Jones, what a great kid he is, how much he has grown over the years. Swing and a miss. Foul tip.
Had 3 hits in yesterday's game, including another bunt base hit for him.
Stole a base in the first inning, too. It's 1 for 2 in his bunt tries. A hold up. Kind of guy you like with his speed. If he tries to drop down a couple of bunts a day, not a bad thing.
Why not?
Line drive right to Roberts. 1 out.
Good at that. Looks like he gets a breaking ball, slow breaking ball, 76 miles an hour. Nuno, not an overpowering pitcher. His fastball will be around 88 miles an hour. His best pitch is his changeup, but he will also mix in a slider and a curve.
Here's Robinson Cano, number 3 hitter in the American League. Tied for 6th in hits, 6th in on-base percentage. Alex Rios and Victor Martinez, the only 2 guys who have better batting averages than Cano. Cano at 330, Rios at 335, Victor at 332. Well, Nuno out of San Diego, California, is ahead 0-2.
Couple of fastballs trying to pitch him away. The Mariners were in New York. They tried to pitch him inside.
Breaking ball hit the other way down the line. That will get fair. Base hit. Cano digging for 2, and he's in there. 2-out double. Robinson Cano for the Mariners here in the first inning. His 14th double. He knows that Gardner does not have a particularly strong arm.
Man, this is just good hitting. It looks like it's a breaking ball off the plate away, and Robinson Cano, even though it's elevated, hits it the other way. Good look at our McDonald Supermo in the swing by Cano. He hits it down the line, and then with 2 outs, he decided it's worth the gamble to go for second base. Dave mentioned Gardner not the strongest arm, but with 2 outs, I think he would try it. He ends up getting into scoring position.
First time for Cole Gillespie batting in the cleanup spot. Cano with that double takes over the team lead. 14 doubles, 1 more than Kyle Seager.
He's been a hot hitter over his last 10 games, hitting an even 400, including his first career home run that he hit in Tampa.
Yankees, Red Sox, and they come here, and they come to a lot of ballparks around the country. They bring out a lot of fans. Interesting way of
showing like it took some time.
Yeah, it
Get
did.
all those stitches in there.
Good grief. That's a lot of time. You're right. They took plenty of pictures. It's not something you want to be doing every day. 2-1. Good go-to-work pitch coming up here for Cole Gillespie.
And so far, a good patient at bat. Nuno throwing a couple of changeups down, and Gillespie laying off of him.
Mariners have a record of 18-5 when Gillespie's in the contest. Line drive, that will get down and score a run. Cole Gillespie continues his hot hitting. Mariners on the board. It's 2-1 Yankees as Cano scores easily. RBI for Gillespie, his 4th.
We'll take a look at this at bat. He gets a fastball. It's a 2-seam fastball in the middle of the plate and down. He stays with it, does not pull off of it, and lines it into left center field. A good play by Ellsbury in center. I thought maybe this was going to be another double, but a clutch base hit for Gillespie with 2 outs.
There's Kyle Seager. Seager this season against the Yankees is 6 for 13, a .462 clip. All 3 runs in this game so far have come with 2 outs.
Probably happy to see him then. Kyle had a rough road trip. Didn't have a lot of luck on the trip. Swung the bat well, but didn't have much to show for it.
He's 0-2.
Breaking ball from Nuno. They have the shift on. Roberts out on the outfield grass. Solarte, the third baseman, over on the right side of the infield.
I'm sure Howard Johnson in his book has good at bats with a lot of ABs he had down in Tampa
Bay. Does, yeah.
Some hard luck.
Well, the good news for Kyle is we showed you he has hit the Yankees well, and he's hit well in this ballpark this year, so maybe it'll get him turned around a good homestand.
0-2 pitch. Fights it off. So the clouds starting to blow out. More blue sky above us here at Safeco Field. A lot of action out at the pen. Those folks were here early. And I tell you what, they're 5 to 8, 10 deep. Here's a stolen base attempt. Cole Gillespie, they got him. And it looked like Solarte took that throw, so 2-5 on the caught stealing.
Yeah, Lloyd McClendon coming out of the dugout, but it looks like he was out.
2-1. The Yankees lead the Mariners. Dave Niehaus here at Safeco Field. As Twitter Tuesday continues, here is your second chance to win. Use hashtag RootQ2 and tell us what was the announced first pitch temperature for tonight's Mariners game. Your chance to win a Root Sports prize pack, including a stadium blanket. We still have 4 more questions, so stay tuned. We did give the answer a little bit earlier. Trucks, and more trucks. Chopper's here. The Hall of Famer, the Mariner Hall of Famer, Jay Buhner. What's up, pal?
And a few Jeeps, some SUVs, a few other little things. How are you, boys?
Doing well.
Good
These
to be
2
here,
ex-Yankees up here.
I know. You got to love it. Gotta love it. So a nice little tribute to
that was nice,
the
wasn't
captain.
it? Yeah.
And well deserved, because there's nobody who played the game better than that guy at shortstop. And what a consummate professional and a good ambassador he is to the game of baseball. He'll be well, he's another guy that's going to get his number retired, and they're going to be down to out of single digits, and next thing you know, it's going to be 50s and 60s.
And A's and B's.
Golly.
Here's Ichiro. Brian Roberts, and Brett Gardner. 50 games, Ichiro 320.
These Yankees, man, it's like a who's who, isn't it? You look at the lineup, it's just like all-star after all-star after all-star after all-star.
They still haven't really gotten a high gear.
I know. But that's the way it always is. And we always talk about that. After the All-Star break, you look up, they're, hovering at 500. Next thing you know, they get on this little run. And
Ackley had Ichiro play perfectly, 1 out.
Getting back to Jeter real quick. One of the things that I'd been thinking about with him is you and I played in that game at the Kingdom when he had his career started, and you go back and you start thinking about players, and tonight it's Derek. You just go back and think about that time and then see where they're at today. You just have no way of knowing what you're looking at when they're, first breaking. And Junior maybe because he was so special, talented-wise.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, but I think, it's just amazing to see the career that he's put together, and you and I were there at the start of it.
And I mean, you can go down the list. Bernie Williams is another guy that had a great run with them that came up. And Mariano Rivera, Big Mo, came up basically the same time as him. So, those guys, it's amazing to look And it was a time, too, when you and I were coming up to the Yankee organization, they were known for basically developing good young talent, but then trading them off. They were always, and then they were doing that to try to get veteran guys in to block trades and guys from going to other teams that could come back to beat them, like Detroit because of the short porch and on down the list. So to see these guys finally come up through the ladder, Jim Leyritz is another guy. I mean, there was a good group of them that made a nice little run over there. But man, 3,000 hits in the big leagues, that's impressive. Yeah. I mean, and playing every day and in the lineup every day, so keeping himself, in great shape, and doing things the right way. I mean, I've never heard anyone say one bad thing about Derek Jeter, ever. Nothing but great things to say. Always seems to be at the right place at the right time. And plus, he's playing in New York City. You know how hard it is in New York City to basically to try to stay out of trouble around there. It's a crazy town. So, this guy led by example and away from the field was a great ambassador for the game. So, well deserved what they did for him tonight here and around the league.
2-2 to Brian Roberts.
Did you get a chance to see the Mariners at all on this last road trip?
I watched you guys on the tube a little bit, and that's a nice little 6-1 road trip.
That was great.
Man, I tell you what, the kids are playing good. I love Lloyd. I mean, what a great communicator. I mean, he's a little he's a little bit like Lou, where he's quiet, and calm demeanor, but he's not afraid to take that size 10 shoe from time to time and give a few of these guys a little kick in the butt. Which, as you know, throughout the course of 162 games, you're going to need that. I mean, it's a grind.
What's been fun too, though, is to watch him basically patch this lineup together, because you have guys that were hurt. Saunders was out for a while, and Smokey now has the quad, and trying to put this thing together. And it just keeps working. Whatever he's doing, it seems to be working right now. And even tonight, he made this comment before we left, and it was basically, who's going to hit, cleanup. And in his comment was, well, somebody has to hit there, because he doesn't feel like he has a real cleanup hitter. And so he puts Gillespie in there tonight. He comes up with a clutch base hit with 2 outs.
Sorry about a little 2-out lightning.
Yeah, right. 58th lineup in 64 games for Lloyd. Not bad. It's worked out pretty well. Yeah. Make sure you celebrate the end of the school year at Safeco Field this Friday for college night. Mariners take on the Rangers, 7:10 start time. Enjoy happy hour pricing up until first pitch, including $5 beers and half-off pizza. Tickets, only $10, and they're available right now, mariners.com/college. Back to the top of the order, and Brett Gardner.
Well, these guys that basically you've been talking, and to get back to what we were talking about, Michael, is the bench too. I mean, he's giving all the bench guys a chance to play a little bit, keep them fresh, keep them sharp, and all the guys definitely want to get a little more playing time, because these guys are stepping up. Look at Romero's pinch hit 3-run home run. I mean, just every day. And I hate
the 2-run homer to give them the lead and win the game.
It was a lot like, and we always talk about, sometimes we fall back to the 95, sorry, but at the same time, every day during that team, a lot of similarities, because every day there was a new, some new hero that was stepping up and getting a big hit for you. Or the bullpen. Look what the bullpen's been doing for these guys. Well, it's unbelievable.
Has been locked down. I think that when you talk about the bench, though, it helps to have some veterans like Willie, who's back in the lineup today playing first. He can play anywhere and has done a really good job. He's been hot. We talked about Buck. And then bringing Indy Chavez back up. That guy
I agree.
So do I, David. He's one of our favorites, and he always does a good job. Not in the lineup tonight, but he's played well. And then he can help those younger guys that are on the bench, because that's not an easy job.
No, I agree. Keeps them ready, and they pick his brain a little bit, which I like. The kids aren't afraid to ask questions. But Chavez, I mean, I love that. I mean, that big hit, and to see against Balfour, because you and I were talking about that. That's one of the guys that just irks me whenever he's on the mound. So to watch this guy with all his annex to get lit up for 5 runs, I wanted to high five through the TV, everybody. So to watch him get so PO'd when Indy hit that ball a foot off the plate for a base hit to start the whole thing, I loved it.
You know what? It goes back to something that you say all the time. Baby. you say this all the time, and it kind of goes back to that. Mariners have 2 outs. 0-2 count on Brad Miller, and he hits the triple in the corner. That game looked like it was done. And what do you know? Here's a 5 spot.
And then a little squishy here, and a little good break
James
here.
Jones with the triple in the inning. 2 triples in the inning. You just never know.
2 strikes.
2 strikes. 0-2 count.
That's even more of a heartbreaker. I mean, as a pitcher, you're like, all right, I got this guy right on one, and all of a sudden you throw a great pitcher's pitch, and they break your heart, and it's like, it totally got him out of his rut, man. I mean, got him into a rut, got him out of his routine. I mean, he was in a rocking chair dealing, and now
2 easy outs.
Now it's what? Bullpen by committee over there in Tampa.
Yeah, it is.
Which aren't very good right now.
No, they are struggling. They don't look anything
stink.
close to a Joe Madden team that we've been watching over the years.
They're not good right now. But he's still a great manager, and something tells me he'll figure out a way to get those boys turning around a little bit.
Well, it's one of those things that they lean on their pitching, and their pitching is hurt. A lot of those guys are not there. Shields is gone now, too, so that doesn't help the situation. And their talented outfielder, Will Myers, is out. So,
And the other thing, David Price is looking at free agency.
Something tells me he is going to be going somewhere. They're going to have to do something. No doubt. And the more you talk about him, they keep talking about his loss of velocity, and that seems to be a thing they keep talking about. It's like, how about he's pitching? He knows when to turn it up, when not to. He's still throwing 93, 94 against you guys.
He's got 22 strikeouts in the 2 games.
So, oh well.
Well, I think, and I can't remember in that game yesterday, did he walk anybody?
I don't know, but I'm glad.
One walk against
He leads the league in strikeouts and has 10 walks on the year.
That's a deadly combo.
Although Kuma only has 4. So.
Well, good thing Robinson got the hit when he did yesterday, because you saw what he did and settled in. So it's all about timely hitting.
Good point.
2-2. Backed him off.
I like it.
He was having to throw a lot of pitches to get through these first couple of innings. 44 pitches now for Iwakuma, 45 pitches for him.
But that's the Yankees. That's always been their game plan.
You mentioned
make the pitch,
lineup.
Yeah, make the starter and get to their bullpen. Figure out a way to get to their bullpen. Although our bullpen right now has been pretty solid. So
I'm not sure you want to get to those
exactly.
guys.
It might not be in their favor, but they are going to make him work.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw by Zunino.
I like it.
And a chance to get Roberts. Here's Cano, and he tags him out. We'll strike him out, throw him out, double play. Ends the Yankees' second. Yankees lead it 2-1. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports, being brought to you by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Jack in a Box. Head to Jack in a Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Seattle City Light. Visit seattle.gov/repower for more information. Kyle Seager was at the dish when Cole Gillespie was thrown out. Route number 3 in the first inning. So it'll be Seager, Zunino, and Saunders here in the home second. Fly ball left field towards the line goes Gardner. And he can't get it.
Something tells me he was looking for that after the first AB. Looking silly on the first pitch.
Something up out over the plate, and that's what he gets.
Smart kid, man. He knows how to make adjustments on the fly.
Well, luckily the ball was slicing just enough to get into the stands.
Oh, nice one-hand catch.
Go Gadget. Wow, impressive.
Oh, the kid had it lined up, too. He reached right in front of him. Look.
He's going to look right at him and go, psych.
Kid had it lined up. Nuno delivers ball 1-1-2. Seager with a home run and 3 RBIs against the Yankees in the 3 previous games. Holds up 2-2. Been there?
I love some of his antics sometimes when he gets a little too far out on that front foot, gets a little too anxious. How he always talks to himself, or he'll bang his fist on that front leg to stay back, stay back, and then he's always working it, man. And it's a little bit of the cat and mouse, Michael. Sometimes you do that just to try to set the pitcher up. Some of these pitchers will fall for it every now and then.
No, not me. I always try to get myself to stay back.
See? There you go.
Well, deep right field. Ichiro turns, looks. Wow, he made the catch. Oh, brother. Ichiro just shy of the 380 sign. The veteran in his old stomping grounds makes a terrific catch.
Well, it looks like Kyle needs to get a little more air under this one. Ichiro able to get back in time to make the catch.
Oh, that's big time.
I think he's familiar with that territory out there.
That helps.
Yeah, knowing exactly where he is on that warning track. Nice play. Giving up the body.
What?
Sweet play.
One out for Mike Zunino.
That's a tough play when you get to that no man's land. There's no turning back, and you got about one step on a full stride on that cinder, that warning track, and you're going to have to prepare for impact. So that was a nice play. Got a great jump, man.
And great line too, right?
Yeah, his route was perfect.
Look at the hops too on a dead sprint.
Fouled back by Zunino, 1-2. Mike trying to break an 0 for 9.
Sure, Siegs has got some nice choice words to say about Ichiro's play, huh?
I don't think that he's as impressed as you are.
Certainly none of those words arable.
No. Way to come back against your old team. What is that? How come that never fails, right?
2-2 to Mike Zunino with Michael Saunders on deck. A lot to be said for comfort zone, right?
Absolutely.
Look out.
Oof. That's getting the head out, huh?
Yankees got first inning 2 out RBIs, a double by Beltran, a single by McCann. Mariners answered Cole Gillespie in his first gig as cleanup hitter. RBI single on a 3-1 pitch in the home first, accounting for the 2-1 score. Zunino, right center field, deep. Ellsbury can't get it, base of the fence. Mike Zunino breaks an 0 for 9 with a double. Deep right center field with 1 out here in the second inning. For Mike, his 9th double this year.
He gets a changeup. It's a good pitch. It's on the outside corner and down, but Mike does a good job of staying with it. Doesn't try to do too much. He's so strong. Drives it into the gap in right center field. That ball was slicing away from Ellsbury.
Thank goodness, right?
Double of the season, yeah.
He had a good beat on it. I thought he was going to run it down.
It gives you an idea how strong he is. Now, that's a good changeup. You can't make a better pitch than that. And for him to hit it at the base of the wall out there, probably about 385 feet away. And he's out on his front foot even.
And that's what's hard for right-handers to remember just to drop the head. You always want to try to help it or scoop it out of there sometimes. To drive the ball that way, stay down through it as long as he did. It's a nice piece of hit. Kid's strong. I tell you, he's done a heck of a job too behind the plate.
Well, he has. And you know, the thing that I like about him is it seems, and Dave mentioned that he was 0 for his last 9 and struggling a little bit. It seems that whenever he comes out of it, he comes out of it with extra base hits. He's just not shanking the ball into right. He's driving it.
A little fillet of fish. He's yeah, look at him get that front foot down.
Again, this is a changeup.
that power V right at impact right there.
Yeah.
Head down, staying through it. Not trying to help it out.
Look
there.
how
Driving
his
it out
body
there.
is to keep him from rolling over the top of it. Just stayed through it the entire way. That is not easy to do.
Especially on a changeup.
Yeah,
a young hitter.
2-0 to Saunders. Way out in front. Michael had to leave Friday's game after second at bat. Felt something in his shoulder, so good to see him back in the starting lineup, batting in the 7-hole and playing in right field.
He was looking to lift and separate based on that swing right there. You got the little Bugs Bunny slur. Oh, there it is.
2-2. Clouds clearing out here, blue sky above, and turning into a more beautiful night by the minute here. Look in from the left field foul pole.
Michael's got a load of talent, just going to have to stay healthy.
And gets away from the catcher. McCann down to third goes Zunino. It'll be a wild pitch. Tying run 90 feet away.
Take a look. It looks like a breaking ball away. Maybe the change, but that's a changeup. And McCann tried to smother it, wasn't able to do it, and it gets by him, so that'll help the Mariners out, but it is a wild pitch.
Infield moves in. One out, runner at third. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Nuno. There's two down here, and the Mariners second. Thursday is Macklemore bobblehead night when we celebrate Seattle's very own Grammy Award-winning artist. This collectible is free to the first 30,000 fans, plus Macklemore himself is going to throw out the first pitch. For tickets to this Thursday's matchup against the Yankees, go to Mariners.com. Justin Ackley looks at a strike. 2. Ackley in an 0-2 hold. In well. Deep left center field. Ellsbury, though, has a beat on it and makes the catch. Runner stranded at third. 2-1 ball game. Yankees lead in this first game of a 3-game set. Right here at Safeco Field, we take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Mariners picking up some home games here and a chance to make some hay. 14 of the next 20 are at home. Mariners start tonight with a record of 14-15 here at Safeco Field. Yankees, Texas, San Diego still to come, and then go to San Diego and Kansas City. And after that, Boston in for 3, Cleveland in for 3 to wrap up the month.
Hey, look at all those off days at home you guys get, too. It's pretty nice.
Jeter, Ellsbury, it's a sheriff.
Oh, sorry. Just rubbing it in a little bit. Sorry, boys.
Jay Buhner joining us here in the booth here tonight.
Well, it's good to be the Mariners when it comes to scheduling, isn't it?
I was trying to think. I think it's always been that way, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really, I mean, when you think about it, as much travel as this organization does, I mean, it would be nice to mix in West Coast, East Coast and get it all done, but
6 trips.
I mean, even back. I was trying to think when we were playing in the Kingdom, we would never get days off coming home. We were always getting them to fly wherever it is we were going.
Rarely. I mean, every once in a blue moon we get that rare off day, and then we usually do the cystic fibrosis golf tournament on it.
Which is happening this month. Yeah, on the
that's coming up, I think, on the 26th. Yep. Right. So it's always nice for that, but boy, it sure would be nice to have a few more mixed in, wouldn't it? Some home cooking.
2-2 to Jeter. Found that one off his leg.
Just get used to living out of that suitcase, man. Sleeping with bed bugs. It's always fun, huh?
.41 total pitches by Iwakuma and Nuno in the second inning. Let's see who's going to be able to stick around here.
Right in the kitchen.
Sure enough, Cano throws his former double play combo out.
Wow, I think he was just trying to fight that off. And
that's what he's done out of his whole career. It's a two-seam fastball running in on his hands, and he always tries to inside out that pitch, but Iwakuma able to get it right in there on the knuckles.
It's almost like that ball rolled down his bat in that slow-mo, huh? He was. He's so patented for that, fouling off that nasty pitcher's pitch. I think he was shocked that he put it in play.
Well, so many times, if you don't, that pitch was right on the corner. If you leave it on the play a little bit, typically he'll hit that little line drive into right field.
A little shank you very much.
So breaking ball up high to Ellsbury, who lined out to left his first time. Won a World Series with the Red Sox last year. Took the big dollar and moved down I-95. Here's Kuma knocking this one down. He'll throw out Ellsbury. Look what I found.
Had it all the way.
Scout and report.
That's what he's laughing about. He's laughing. This is a rocket back up the middle. Didn't fool him at all. But Kuma able to flag it.
Well, that's what he needs. He needs a short inning. No doubt about that. A couple of them.
Let's see if he can get Teixeira to hit it into the shift.
Sharon, a 2-2 pitch single to center. Came around and scored on the McCann single. And line drive coming in Saunders.
Nice play.
And he makes the play, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 does get the short inning. Iwakuma. That came in handy. 2-1 Yankees. Sports is being brought to you by T-Mobile, sponsoring Tuesday Night Baseball. Good to have you with us. Nice night, comfortable here at Safeco Field. Brad Miller leading off, Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and our special guest, Mariner Hall of Famer, Jay Buhner. Got Brad Miller, Willie Blomquist, and James Jones, 9-1-2 here in the third. Brad going 5 for 22 on a road trip. This is what he did against the Yankees. Tough go, trying to get back over 200. Strike one, 2-1. Two and two here to Brad. Down Nuno, 2-2 pitch. Down back again.
He had a mistake from Nuno, left that breaking ball right in the middle of the plate. Probably trying to bounce that pitch.
Especially up, too. You see it right out of the hand. Yeah.
Backhanded by Jeter. One down. Guys, what was your approach seeing a guy for the first time? Here's Nuno, first time he's facing the Mariners. I mean, there's so much you can do with tape, but what was your approach in a situation like this?
It depended on for me, what kind of stuff does he have? If he's throwing hard, I want to go up there and just look for a fastball in the middle of the plate. If he's a guy like Nuno who's going to change speeds and do some, I'd like to see a few pitches. I want to see his changeup. You know, but it also sometimes, Jay, the situation in the game.
Absolutely.
If you have runners on, there's no time to be messing around and get queued up there. I think.
Get that dead red, and let it go. Especially lefties too. I always like to, if they're soft lefty, I want to get my belly button up on the plate, make him come in the popper.
Second time Willie's popped out, fouled out to Teixeira, 2 down.
But then if it's a hard throwing right-hander, then it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on the pitcher. Kind of like Mariano Rivera, right, Mike?
That's right. Troy Percival.
Oh yeah. What's he throwing? First time. Mike goes up against Percival. What's he throwing, dude? $1 million.
Good luck.
It's like Bugs Bunny. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. And Mike's like, what just happened? And the rest is history because he turned himself into a top-notch closer, and we all basically walked back many a time the same way.
$1 million.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. $1 million. Buckle up, good luck.
Go get him.
Next. Oh, beat it out.
What a nice play.
Be nice to have wheels like that, wouldn't it? Man.
In my dreams, that's pitch. Hit it for Nuno, no score. 2-1 Yankees.
Look, I know that everybody wants to say their goodbyes to Derek Jeter, but there is way too many Yankee fans here. I want to hear from the Mariner fans. Send us your photos as you watch tonight's game using the hashtag, Mariners fan photo. Is brought to you by AT&T, and we may show it a little bit later on in the broadcast. Again, hashtag Mariners fan photo for a chance to have it shown later in the game, guys.
All right, thank you, Angie. Here's Carlos Beltran to lead it off. Beltran, McCann, and Solarte here in the fourth. Beltran with a double to left, run-scoring double. Broken bat. There's Seager throwing him out. Right into the shift, one away.
I always love it. They throw out the ball after a guy gets jammed. Was there splinters in it or something?
I think pine tar. It's the pine tar.
That is true, because that thing was so far in his knuckles.
Iwakuma this year wins at Houston, against Kansas City, at Texas, and at Atlanta. So look at Brian McCann. All one to Bryant. Infield hit and an RBI in the first. One. Good ball.
PFP for him tonight.
That's right.
Good work by Iwakuma. Quick 2 outs here in the fourth. King Felix reigned supreme this past Sunday, striking out a career best 15 batters. See Felix's encore performance this Friday night, live and in person from the King's Court, as he makes his next start against the Rangers at 7:10. For $30 is going to get you a ticket and a King's Court t-shirt. So come on out and see the Mariners ace by getting your tickets at mariners.com/Felix.
I love reading a little bit some of what Felix was saying about that outing, about how he goes, yeah, it's be able to be out there and know that I can throw anything at any given time for a strike.
Everything working.
He goes, it was a great feeling. Must be nice, huh?
It was.
I mean, that was
outstanding.
filthy.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And I thought the thing that was interesting, they were asking him, did you know that when you were in the bullpen? He said, no, I couldn't get my changeup. I couldn't get it to go down. My fastball was straight. I had nothing in the bullpen.
Quick inning here for Iwakuma.
That's what he needed.
As Cano throws out Solarte. So that is 3, 6, 7 in a row retired by Iwakuma. 2-1 Yankees. The bottom of the fourth, and earlier this evening we asked you who ranked second to Jeter in the active career hit list. There's your answer. It's Ichiro, 2775. Good group: Beltre, Bobby Abreu, Albert, Paulie K, and Carlos Beltran. Good list. Cano pops one up, foul. Cano, Gillespie, and Seager here in the fourth.
Cano with a double in his first at bat, scored the 1 run for the Mariners.
One to Ravi. Third in hits. Make that third in the American League in batting average. Tied for sixth in hits and sixth in on-base percentage. Starting tonight's ball game.
Who's leading it? Just out of curiosity.
Mr. Rios. Quarterback.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, bud.
No, Alex Rios at 335. Victor Martinez at 332.
Victor Martinez, man,
that
guy can hit. I always thought when he came through with Cleveland that it was a hitting machine.
Both sides, he's killing it.
Yeah, his biggest deal was staying healthy. Hit foul.
Nope. Takes Teixeira right to the bag. One away. Hey, Mariner fans, your local Ford store is hosting a peanut butter drive at Safeco Field this Sunday, June 15th. Ford dealers in the Pacific Northwest are helping local community food banks to make sure no child goes hungry this summer. Fans attending the June 15th Father's Day game against the Rangers may bring their unopened peanut butter donation to Safeco Field to contribute to the Ford Focus on Child Hunger campaign. Bring up Cole Gillespie. One out, nobody on here in the fourth. First time as a cleanup hitter with the Mariners.
Good time for first Safeco home run right here, too.
That's right. Got one on the road a couple of days ago. His fourth career home run.
Oh, get him out of there. Get out of there. He looks good up there.
He's played well.
He just looks balanced and good approach. Short and quick.
With that base hit, he's raised his average to 327 now.
2-1.
He's hungry. He wants more and more opportunities, and he's doing a good job to keep himself in that lineup. Keep swinging it the way he is. He'll find a place to play.
Well, he had a chance to play against some right-handers at the end of the road trip. Saunders had the shoulder issues, Smoke with the quad, and he played well. And one of the things that Lloyd has talked about is if you're swinging it and getting your hits, I'm going to keep you in the lineup, and that's been the case.
Somebody is going to give Wally Pips for some playing time.
3-2 to Gillespie. Got a base hit on a 3-1 pitch back in the first inning. Drove in a run.
Amazing game, isn't it? It goes on with or without you. Want to play along, you better perform.
Nuno, 3-2 pitch to Gillespie.
Very nice. Spoiler, good pitcher's pitch right on the corner. Now come back in the Papa.
Three and two. And he did not go, so Cole Gillespie has worked a walk.
That's a nice AB right there.
First walk issued by Nuno tonight.
It's an off-speed pitch down, and it looks like the slider able to lay off of it.
Well, here's Seager. Ichiro made a sensational catch to rob him of extra bases leading off the second inning.
Seeing him take that pitch, that's tough to do with 3-2 because you're looking for that fastball and you want to
gear it up.
Yeah, get the barrel out there, and he was able to check his swing.
Up and in to Seager.
Hello. I'll get the blood pumping a little bit.
You have to wonder. Kyle hit his breaking ball on a line out to right field, the play that Ichiro made. So maybe straighten him up, try to open up the outer half of the plate.
Don't be diving on me trying to snatch that thing. Let's see if he goes right back to it, though.
Here's what Ichiro did to Kyle Seager last time up. Kyle gave it a good ride. Ichiro, outstanding play.
That hat never comes off. That's amazing.
2-0 pitch. Slow breaking ball misses. 3-0. And Mike Zunino on deck. He doubled to the base of the right center field wall. First time up. Three one. Tomorrow night's ball game, Chris Young against Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka coming in 9-1, a 2.02 ERA, best in the American League. And Chris Young is Court Boyd McClendon has been a godsend at 5-3 with a 3.42.
I'll say. He's done a heck of a job. Had one little hiccup and then came right back with another back-to-back solid starts.
CenturyLink link to what's next. 3-1 here to Seager. The lunch. Full count.
Yes, he did. That is called, Sean, a buggy whip.
Two-seam fastball down in the zone.
Gillespie at first, 3-2 pitch. Well stroked into the gap. Gillespie's got good wheels. He's to third easily. Seager will shut it down with a single, first and third for the Mariners with one out.
We were talking about it with Kyle on the road trip that he'd been swinging the bat well and didn't have much to show for it. And then his first at bat today, Ichiro robs him of a hit.
He's probably saying that better get down.
Finally find some outfield grass on another liner.
He's going, come on, man. I just got squishy on another one. They're going to run that one down too. I'll tell you what I'm impressed with is Gillespie, the way he carried the mail.
He can run.
I mean, I didn't know he could run like that.
Yeah. Well, there's some tools there.
Two good plays out there, though, by Ellsbury, cutting those balls off. Yeah. Keep a runner at third.
See if Zunino can tie it up here. 2-1 ball game, 1-0 count. Runners at the corners.
I think Ellsbury and Gillespie played together at Oregon State, didn't they? Yeah.
Good swing. Well, these are the money runs right here. You got to get in. Somehow, some way, you got to get this guy in.
On one to Zunino. Broken bat. Fly ball. Gardner.
Those wheels. Come on.
Gillespie here. He can. Oh, he holds. Tagging is Seager. He goes to second. He's in safely.
Another boy, Siegs. Very nice.
2 outs. So Saunders, a chance to put the Mariners in front.
Just wasn't deep enough. One of the better throws you're going to see from Brett Gardner.
No doubt he'd been out.
Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, no chance to send him.
Got a little bit too much in his kitchen.
Yeah.
So Gillespie at third, Seager at second. Saunders, the hitter, struck out on a 3-2 pitch.
See if he can make up for it right here. Last time up, didn't get the run in. Get these two right here. A little attitude adjuster for him.
Mariners have won 3 consecutive ball games, 8 of the last 9. They're 5 games beyond 500 for the first time since the last day of the 09 season. Hit well. Hit deep. Going back to Ellsbury. Going back. Oh, he made the catch. Ellsbury playing an outstanding center field. Well done by Jacoby Ellsbury on a deep drive by Saunders.
Get in the weight room.
How about the ending of this fourth inning, Jay Buhner? He absolutely kills this ball.
And the last AB, runner at third, could get him in. So right here, the game's all about redemption. We were talking about how this game is such a mental grind for you, especially right here in this situation. You juice a ball and you know you got it and you get nothing to show for it. Boy, it's hard to flush it.
Cole Gillespie, nice running. Can't make that Ackley, beg your pardon, on a nice catch there. Against Ichiro, 1 out. I mean, he can't hit a ball. I don't know if he can hit it.
No, what have you done for me lately? And I kidded, I get in the weight room, and it's easy for me to say, but I mean, you know, this ballpark, as we know, plays big, and you smoke a ball like that, boy, it hurts. It hurts.
I think you had the operative word. Now you got to flush it and get ready for the next AB.
You have to. You got to be ready, because the next AB could be the, break the backbone.
Brian Roberts backing out of the way.
And, Siegs did the same thing his first AB. Smokes the ball, guy makes a great play on him. He comes back up the next AB, gets a base hit. So it's a grind. You got to keep grinding. It's 162 games. You hope you get the opportunity to play. And if you're an everyday guy, you're only as good as your last AB. So.
Well, 2 to Roberts, who walked and then was caught stealing. Strike him out, throw him out, double play in the second inning.
The beauty is he might come up next AB and get a big walk, and that ends up winning the game for him. So there's so many ways. You never know. The game dictates what's going on, and you hopefully take what it gives you. But he is definitely standing out in right field right now going, are you kidding me?
He's having a heck of a conversation right now, right?
He's saying to himself, self, I'm not going to flush that.
And 1 to Roberts, batting in the 9-hole today.
I can promise you, when Ellsbury comes up, if he's got a chance to make a diving play, he is going to lay out like Superman.
Willie Bloomquist to his right. Good feed to Iwakuma for out number 2. He's made some nice plays filling in for Smoke. Get downtown from the airport for only $275. On Sound Transit's Link Light Rail. See how easy it is at soundtransit.org. Retribution any way you can get it.
Absolutely. In this game, it's such a grind. You got to pick a positive somehow, some way.
Beautiful sunset here in Seattle. A lot of the clouds. It was a lot cloudier at first pitch back at 7:10.
Pretty comfortable right now.
Very much so.
Thought it was supposed to pour. I like this. This is a nice pouring rain.
That can still happen around here, you know.
That's why we got the roof, baby.
Here's Gardner. Iwakuma struck him out twice tonight. Strike one.
Looks like Iwakuma, knock on wood, is starting to settle in. A couple of quick innings for him. Another chance right here. Just what the doctor ordered, huh, Dave?
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Rips that one through the hole.
Nice job.
Way to go, Jay.
Yeah. Schlep rock.
2 out single for Gardner to bring up Jeter. Jeter's 1 for 2.
Gets a fastball. It's down and away from him. Gets it hard into right field. But he has settled down. 46 pitches for Iwakuma to get through the first 2 innings. Wow. He's right at 70 now, working here in the 5th. So, had to throw a lot of pitches early in this one.
2 outs, 1 on for the Yankee captain. Singled to center and scored in the first. Grounded out to Cano in the 3rd.
Angie was right. They're singing Derek Jeter like they're in Yankee Stadium.
Almost like roll call.
That is pretty cool.
And I bet there's a lot of that as he makes the tour.
Yep.
Outside 1-1. Jeter did his media obligations before the game, as he does for the first game of a road trip on this tour. Did about 10 minutes with the media, about 5 or 6 deep. Had to have been 50 people down in the dugout straining to hear what he had to say about the tour and wrapping things up. Solid 10 minutes inside. 2-1.
1 and done.
That's it.
First day in.
That's it. See you later.
1 and done. It's time to get busy.
No sit downs. Save that for after the season. Two outs and Gardner at first base. Two and two.
This is what we were talking about earlier, Jay, that inside-out swing. He's been doing it for 20 years. Hasn't changed, has it?
No. And then he just squares it up. Live to fight for another pitch, and
finally he'll get one out over the plate somewhere and hit it hard into right center.
It may not look pretty, but it gets the job done for 3,000 plus.
Ooh. Outside.
Not by much.
Ooh.
Gary QC Tracer, that pitch just off the outside corner.
Jeter with 3,371 hits. That base hit in the first inning.
Got a little Wade Boggs zone right there. A little love.
Three and two, 2 outs. Gardner, good speed at first. He takes off. Pitch. Ball 4.
Wow.
Where did that?
Holy mackerel. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, 1's all right, but
wow.
Come on.
Chris Siegel.
I mean, even
newer umpires.
Even Kuma's up talking to himself out there. I mean, come on. It's like, what, I got to slice it right down the middle?
Oh, man.
Perfect pitch. You can see the two-seamer fighting its way back. There you go. Last 2 pitches. Pretty good pitches.
If he had rung him up, I don't think Jeter would have objected too much. My goodness, that pitch was good. Jeez. Keeps the inning alive. 2-men aboard.
Chris Siegel didn't read the scouting report. Iwakuma for just 4 walks on the year. He has 2 in this game. He throws strikes. He doesn't walk people.
Here's Ellsbury, 0 for 2.
Is that the farewell tour zone right there? Good grief.
Mick Kelleher, the first base coach for the Yankees. Rob Thompson at third. 0-1 here to Ellsbury. Check swing, foul ball, 0-2. Tony Pena, bench coach. Joe Girardi, been manager of the Yankees since 08.
Couple pretty good catchers, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Tony Pena had an absolute cannon.
Quick feet.
I think one of the strongest arms ever.
Yeah, it's a good one. Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Kansas City.
Great guy, too. Good teammate. Got a chance to play with him a little bit.
Strike 3 call. Rings up Ellsbury.
Hey, bad timing. They all even out. Don't worry about it.
Dustin Ackley leading off for the Mariners. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Ackley, Miller, and Blomquist in this 2-1 Yankee lead. 2 runs in the first. Beltran an RBI double. McCann followed with an RBI single. This one popped up. Solarte taking a look.
Get out. Meanwhile, we got a nice little ball game going on here.
Ackley 0-2. He flied out the center in his first at bat. Mariners got their run. 2 outs. First inning on a 3-1 pitch. Cole Gillespie, first time batting in a cleanup spot, delivers an RBI single to center to score Robinson Cano, who had doubled. There's the 0-2.
Well, the other part of that is Mariners have had some opportunities. They did pick up that run with the clutch hitting, but runner on third, less than 2 outs. Something the Mariners have been a lot better at this year. They've left runners stranded in this game.
Yeah, well, not that they didn't juice the ball.
Foul ball.
A couple nice defensive plays to hold them at bay.
Ichiro robs Seager, and then Ellsbury takes potential extra bases away from Saunders with runners at second and third. 2 outs in the 4th. A couple of very nice defensive plays. Here's the 0-2. Looking down low. Boyd McClendon came out and spoke to home plate umpire Chris Siegel.
I'll give you a coin here for you to flip. Change coins. Is that what he told him? Good for him, man. That's the one thing about him. He's going to back his players. Maybe plant the seed a little bit.
Ackley's got it to 2-2. Full count.
Oh boy, good AB right here.
Next pitch will be 80 for Nuno. It made him work. Put some more pressure on him. Get some more base runners.
Fly ball left field deep. Going back. Gardner got room. He's there for the catch. Let's check it with Angie Mentink. What do you have, Angie?
Guys, thanks. Of course, it is Twitter Tuesday, and it's now time for question 4. Use the hashtag RootQ4 and tell us how many total pitches were thrown in the second inning of tonight's game. This is for a chance to win a Root Sports prize pack. Follow us on Twitter at @RootSports_NW to answer. And I actually think if people were paying attention, Dave, you might have told them the answer to this question unknowingly at the time.
We tipped him off. We tipped him off. Little birdie. Psst, psst. Brad Miller looks at ball 1. Jay, your thoughts on Mr. Miller and his swinging the bat after hitting about 265 last year?
Unfortunately, I think looking at the 169 kind of speaks for itself. Playing some good defense, but spread that one out. Now, that was self-defense right there. Good thing you got some good hands, Mr. Jeter. Woo. Hello, Dolly. Oh.
Breadbasket.
Nice deflection to himself. No panic, though. Gotta love that. It's free and easy.
Willie looking for an open spot here. He's twice fouled out to Teixeira. Ball 1. Willie batting leadoff, playing at first base. Justin Smoke still coming along day to day with the sore quad muscle. Only in his 5th game at first base.
It's a nice luxury, though, for Lloyd to have a guy that can play all over the place for you.
Breaking ball for a strike.
He has a solid bench. You know, veteran backup and Buck.
He had let's not forget he had 16 home runs last year. Buck did.
Yeah,
and
big home run on the road trip.
Indy's unbelievable. Can run down anything. Great arm. Veteran.
Ellsbury coming in. Makes the play. The Mariners are going 1-2-3 in the 5th. A 2-1 Yankee lead. Yankees get on the board. Carlos Beltran doubles into the left field corner. Jeter comes around easily. And then Brian McCann. Tough play by Miller. Smothers it. Pulls Willie off the bag. And that brings home another run. Teixeira scores. Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Mariners, they answer with an RBI from Cole Gillespie to make it a 2-1 ball game.
Nice footwork by McCann over there not to step all over Willie.
Yeah.
That could have been ugly.
Absolute. Teixeira, Beltran, and McCann against Iwakuma. Teixeira. First inning single run scored and then lined out to right. Shift on against Teixeira. Kyle Seager playing at second base, normal location. Brad Miller, only infielder on the left side. 2-1. 3-1. Teixeira goes the other way. Long foul ball. 3-2. Happy 67th birthday to longtime Yankee broadcaster, an outstanding player in his day with New York, Montreal, and Baltimore, Ken Singleton, on the Yankee telecast today. A really terrific gentleman in the game for a long time. Good friend. 3-2 pitch. And swing and a foul tip into Zunino's glove. Back-to-back strikeouts for Iwakuma. That's his 4th of the evening.
We'll take a look at the last pitch. 88 miles an hour. Good running. Two-seamer right off the outside corner. Gets Teixeira to swing through it. He's so good at changing speeds, and everything that he throws moves, including his fastball. We were getting on the home plate umpire a little bit about missing that pitch to Jeter, but if you think about it, when you see that pitch coming out of his hand and it looks so wide of the plate, he's probably not used to seeing that thing run back onto the corner. I mean, it's Maddox-like the way that he throws his two-seamer. You really have to stay with it. And I would think that probably after the fact he knew he missed it. You know, because you're just not used to seeing that kind of movement on a fastball.
And then I think Lloyd probably took that very point you're talking about and said, "Hey,
just
don't give up. Don't give up
Exactly.
on it."
And let's not forget, he doesn't walk anybody. He is going to be around the strike zone.
Right.
So give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
if a
give him
guy's
some credit
pounding,
for that. Right.
Open it up a little bit. He's pounding that area.
I agree.
Plus, that's right there. That's the pitch that normally he gets a lot too. Is that little high fastball?
How about the Ellsbury strikeout?
But again, look at the movement of it. He's not expecting that to move off the plate as much as it did.
But they say it's where it crosses the plate, right?
Of course.
And so I mean that's what you say. Stay with it. There it is again, right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Beltran. RBI double and a ground out the third. Zunino, great frame job here.
He is so good at this.
I like the fact too that he doesn't really give it that quick pull over. He just kind of nice and soft, just a little.
Turn the glove a little bit.
Two-2 pitch. Beltran serves it in the left field.
Nice piece of hitting right there. That's why he's on that list, right?
Yep. List we showed you earlier of active hitters this Father's Day. Hit the game and then hit the grill. That's right. Take Dad to Safeco Field this Sunday. Mariners face the Rangers at 1:10, and the first 10,000 dads 21 and older can take home a Mariners barbecue spatula thanks to EQC. Pick up your Father's Day tickets for the whole family at Mariners.com. Here's Brian McCann, the catcher, 1 for 2. Drove in a run, second run in the first inning. Strike one to Brian. Dylan Betances, 6'8", and he's coming downhill at you, throwing mid-90s, mid-upper 90s.
Big boy. Baby Willie.
Willie gets the lead runner.
Very nice.
And nice scoop to get McCann on the 3-6-3 double play. Nicely done by Willie Bloomquist in his 5th game at first base this season. Mariners can pitch it and they catch it. Let's see if they can get some hits. Defensive performance of Seager gives us a ride, boys.
Unfortunately, it is against the Mariners. Ichiro goes back, makes a catch right up against the base of the wall.
And Michael Saunders, couple of men on, thought he had something going here, and Ellsbury tracked it down and made the catch.
That one hurts right there. When you get squishy on it and the guy runs it down. Two nice plays by the evil guys
on that pitch.
Very much, yeah.
James Jones leading off, takes a pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Jones, Cano, and Gillespie here in the 6th. Oh, 0-2. Jonesy tonight lined out the second and ground out the second.
Well, the word got out quick that he's got some wheels, so they respected that with the corners. Now, obviously, they'll drop back with 2 strikes.
Vidal Nuno, 0-2 pitch. Outside.
Yep. The other part of that, Jay, is he's shown that he will bunt. And he will do it a couple of times in the game. And if you're even with the bag, he'll still try you. I love that about him.
There's not enough guys that put that to play and use that to their arsenal. I mean, look at Brett Butler for all those years. I mean, everybody in the ballpark knew he was going to bunt, and he still was beating stuff out. I mean, if you got bat control and you practice at your art and you make it that way, it's a lot of hits.
Oh, and he got fooled on that one badly. McCann throws down, strikeout for Nuno. That'll be his 2nd. 1 out to bring up Cano. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
That little lefty slider, that frisbee, has been starting behind him.
Yeah, and he takes just enough off of it
picks,
too.
Yep.
A little big sweeper.
Getting guys out on the front foot.
Here's Cano. Smokes one center field. It's dying, and Ellsbury catches it.
These guys are like Hoover out there, aren't they? Just vacuuming everything.
And Joe Girardi going to make a pitching change. This is Ellsbury doing a heck of a job patrolling center field this evening. Nuno goes 5 2/3, leaves with a 2-1 lead. And they're going to bring in a very hard throwing right-hander Dylan Betances when we come back. By Pizza Hut, make it great. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. When you're choosing a contractor, hire smart and go to protectmyhome.net. If you look at the big wheel, Elliott Bay, Mariners playing the Yankees first of 3. 2-1 lead for New York. And you want to see a guy who's going to rush it up to the plate. It's Dylan Betances. And here he is. And boys, he can pump some gas.
It'll be mid to upper 90s. Hey, look at it. 61 strikeouts in 36 innings pitched.
Is that a typo?
No, I'm afraid it's not.
He's tall from here up.
Opponent's hitting just 138.
Dude, that's filthy right there.
Indy Chavez, the pinch hit.
And in first pitch, he drops a yacker on you.
Wiffle ball.
Oh,
Nuno, he pitched well, 5 2/3, just 4 hits, 1 earned run, had 1 walk, big key for him, 92 pitches, 60 of those were strikes.
Betances, 6'8", 260. He's out of Brooklyn, New York. And he has been their guy.
I'll say with 61 punches.
Indy Chavez pinch hitting. Had a good career pinch hitting. 265 average is really good as a pinch hitter. A couple of home runs.
Takes a special personality, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A mindset to do that. I don't know how Gar did it all those years.
So Betances and James Jones both growing up in Brooklyn. It's a huge borough, but they did play ball against each other back in Brooklyn. Two and 1 count. And he chops it. Roberts is there. Throws him out. That'll do it for the Mariners in the 6th. Yankees lead at 2-1.
of the game, and it's been a busy night. So we've got 4 great photos to pass on to you this evening. Michelle at Safeco Field for the game, and then Jenny enjoying a healthy looking plate of nachos. Well done. Christian sent us this one. That kid showing some intimidation on the mound. I'm scared to face him. And finally, look at this little guy. He's wearing the retro beard hat. Tweet your photos to #MarindersFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast, guys.
All right, Angie, thank you. Irvis Solarte leading off, followed by Ichiro and Brian Roberts, 7, 8, 9. Here in the 7th inning against Hisashi Iwakuma, who struck out 4, walked 2. Solarte is twice grounded out to Cano at second base.
Nobody throwing in the Mariner pen. Iwakuma now at 94 pitches. His season high is 99. Threw 96 in his last outing against Atlanta. He has not gone over 100 pitches this year.
Striking the outside corner, 1-2. All the runs in the first inning. Beltran an RBI double, McCann an RBI single. Mariners got an RBI single from Cole Gillespie. Batting for the first time as a cleanup man and DH here for the Mariners. Ground ball to Cano. Third time Cano's thrown him out. The collectible train car we're giving away this weekend goes 95 miles per hour if Felix throws it. Join us Saturday at 7:10 for Felix Hernandez Kings Court Train Car Night. Free to the first 20,000 fans through the gate, so make sure you jump on board and get tickets right now at Mariners.com. Here's Ichiro. Twice flied out to left. Good action in the pen here tonight. Big crowd. Looks like it's going to be up close to 30,000. Expected 40,000 on Thursday. And I'm sure that Tanaka-Chris Young matchup, chance to draw a lot of folks in tomorrow night. Inside Ichiro, 1-1. Tanaka on your right, Hiroki Kuroda on your left. 2/5 of the Yankee rotation. Cano, route number 2. We have another Coors Light Silver Bullet Saturday coming up June 14th against the Rangers. First 400 fans, 21 and older, who enter the Roots Sports Pen for early happy hour at the Rail Bar. They're going to get a free Silver Bullet Saturday t-shirt and extended happy hour pricing up until first pitch. Plus, catch a specially marked Coors Light baseball during Mariners batting practice on a Silver Bullet Saturday, and you can win tickets to an upcoming ball game. Brian Roberts will walk in a ground out.
So what, I'm impressed with Kuma tonight. A little shaky first couple innings. Sell-in areas going 7 strong.
Kuma gives up 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. No runs and 2 hits the rest of the way.
He was able to get back to what he normally does, and that's a lot of ground ball outs. You get past that second inning, it's a lot of ground outs for Kuma.
Be interesting to see if he goes out for the 8th. Just simply because of what you were talking about earlier, not being over 100 pitches or anywhere close to 100 yet.
Yeah. Season high right now at 101.
There we go.
11 ground ball outs.
He's got Roberts 1-2. And he strikes him out. Strikeout number 5. Iwakuma sparkling here in the 7th. 1-2-3 go the Yankees. Mariners trail 2-1. Washington's lottery, and the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? Good crowd, festive crowd here. The Yankees in town. First of 3. And the Mariners going to try to do some work against hard throwing Dylan Betances, who came on to get the final out of the 6th inning in relief of starter Vidal Nuno. It'll be Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Michael Saunders. 5, 6, and 7 here for the Mariners. Mariners have won 3 consecutive ball games, 8 of 9, playing some outstanding baseball. First pitch. And into the shift. 1 hop. Roberts throws out Seager.
He's running all the way down first, going, really? I can't buy a hit tonight. They're shifting on me. They're Spider-Manning off the wall. Ichiro's crashing into things.
1 for 3 night so far for Kyle.
There's Mike Zunino, 1 for 2. He doubled off the base of the right center field fence.
Well, good news for Iwakuma. He's been on such a good run. Nobody throwing in the pen, so you might be right, Jay. He might come back out and pitch the 8th inning.
And based on his mannerisms and the way he's walking off the field after the last couple innings, he was fired up, man. And he doesn't show a lot of emotions and antics, but I mean, he was fired up, and there's no doubt you ought to pat yourself on the back after the way he's been able to turn things around. Why not? I mean, he's built up the arm strength. If he feels strong, let him go. If he gets in a little bit of trouble, first hitter, maybe make a move. But you're right. There's nobody in the bullpen, no action. So gotta love that with Lloyd, man. He's got the utmost confidence in his players.
1-1 to Zunino. Betances just threw a ball at 97. All speed pitch there. 2-1.
Let's see if Mikey cheats on this dead red right here. He's looking to try to lift and separate on a fastball right here.
Well, Zunino straight away. 2-1 pitch.
Fish aren't biting.
3-1.
At least you get that fastball now.
2-1 ball game. All 3 runs scored in the first inning. Mike takes another one for the team. Mike Zunino has now been hit 7 times.
Still hurts, but at least it was an off-speed pitch. Only 80 miles an hour.
Better there than the bonnet in the head.
What do you think? A changeup?
Right off the Z.
Yeah, it looked like it got away from him.
Yeah, 80 miles an hour.
It's like watching the Super Regionals right now. I never seen so many kids trying to get hit in my life.
Really? It's been that bad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
anything to get on.
They're trying to swing those BB cores. I mean, it's like I've got a better chance of getting on base when I get drilled to try to swing this thing.
Mariners third on that list. Saunders, as the boys are saying up here in the booth, killed it last time. It has nothing to show for it. 2 outs, 2 on. And he took Ellsbury deep to the deep center field, right at the fence, where he made a nice catch.
So wanting to know if that's about the height of the strike zone right there. Oh, stick fair. That would have been only fitting, right? You absolutely murder a ball. Did you come up and fillet a fish one just barely down the line? What could have been a double.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a game. Little Uchi checks. Ooh.
Well, it looks like a slider in on his hands.
Oh, and 2 here to Saunders with Zunino at first. Zunino takes off, and he's going to get the second safely.
Good anticipation there, looking for the ball in the dirt.
I agree.
Didn't wait to see how far it was going to get away from McCann, the catcher. He took off right away as soon as he saw it in the dirt. He broke for second. Good base running.
Wild pitch gets Mike to second.
Tell you what, that was a pretty good job by McCann to keep that ball in front of him. It looked like he hit out in front of home plate.
You're right. No hesitation whatsoever. He looked down, spiked in the ground, and off he goes.
Big pitch here at 1-2 to Saunders.
Mariners 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Well, I'd love to see this guy right now getting a little base hit, ribby.
2-1 ball game, 1 out. Zunino at second. Breaking ball and a good one.
That was nasty, especially when the guy throws 97, 98. You can see why he's got 67 strikeouts, I think, now.
Betances strikes out Saunders for out number 2.
Well, even though he throws 98 miles an hour, he's actually thrown more off-speed pitches than he has fastball. Only 40% fastballs. So he's mixing it up.
But you know, Mike, when you throw that hard too, you can't help but cheat a little bit to get the head going.
You have to.
And especially 6'8", by the time he lets go of it, looks like he's right on top of you with that long stride, throwing downhill right at you.
Flyouts to center and left for Ackley tonight. Nino got aboard, hit by a pitch, took second on a wild pitch. Mariners looking for a 2-out knock here. 1-1.
And there's your 98. Right in on the hands.
Free and easy 98.
Well, McClendon and company hoping for a base hit from Ackley here, 1-2. And just out of the reach of Roberts. Here's Ichiro with the throw. Zunino to the plate. He's in there. Tie ball game at 2-2. Dustin Ackley coming up big with a 2-out single on a 1-2 pitch. Tie ball game at 2-2.
I love it. Zunino carrying the mail, too.
Betances does him a favor, does Ackley a favor. He throws him another breaking ball, but this one he leaves up. He's been down in the zone with it. He hangs this one up in the zone, and Dustin able to get to it, drive it over the second baseman's head. And then it was just a matter whether Zunino was going to beat the throw by Ichiro and right, just out of the reach of Roberts.
I think it slowed it down just enough for Mikey to score right there.
Chopper up the middle. Jeter. Spin, throw, doesn't get him, base hit.
Still fun to watch him pirouette like that, isn't it?
First and second, 2 outs. Roberts, oh, good athlete. Just couldn't get there.
Too. Throw down through the cutoff man to keep Dustin over at first base.
And we've seen Jeter over the last 20 years
from out in short right field
make the pirouette and throw it right on the money. A good speed by Miller getting down the line. Infield base hit. Now the go-ahead run is at second. Ackley's out there. Miller at first. Willie Bloomquist. What's going through his mind right now? He's twice fouled out to Teixeira and popped to center.
Willie right now is looking to hit the ball up the middle the other way. That's what he's done since he's been in there. He's been swinging the bat well for the Mariners over his last 9 games, hitting .400. And in those 9 games, 8 RBIs.
Strike 1 to Willie.
Some money ABs right there.
Just like the other night, Mike, 2 outs. He had 2 strikes.
Yeah, they did a lot of that on the road.
Really good stuff. Brand new ball game. Oh, 1 to Willie. Outside. 1. Blomqvist 2 for 4 yesterday. And 2 RBIs in Saturday's 7-4 win. And he's got a 2-1 count here.
Charlie Furbush starting to throw in the pen for the Mariners.
Ackley, good speed at second. Fouled off.
It's amazing. Even in a 2-1 count, throw 98 will not give in.
That's Matt Thornton. One-time Mariner.
Nice career for him. Here, Chicago.
$28,405 on hand here at Safeco Field. Mariners have rallied to tie it here. 2 outs in the 7th. All 4 runs in this ball game have come with 2 outs. And a 2-2 pitch here to Blomqvist. Fouled off.
Good boy, Willie.
Zunino took one right off the Z on the back of his jersey. And wild pitch to second, came around to score on the Ackley base hit. Tied up. 2-2 to Willie B. And he did go, says home plate umpire Chris Siegel. Dispirited Willie Blomqvist strikes out with a couple of men aboard, but the Mariners do tie the score at 2-2 as we go to the 8th. Game, Iwakuma has been outstanding. A rough first inning, 2 runs on 4 hits. Since then, he's held the Yankees to no runs on 2 hits.
Lloyd McClendon sending him back out there, giving him a chance to win this game. Charlie Furbush still throwing in the pen for the Mariners, so if he gets into some trouble, he has his reliever, but he's going to give Iwakuma a chance. Already a season high 102 pitches for him.
Iwakuma with 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's got Gardner, Jeter, and Ellsbury here in the top of the 8th. Clinton's ball clubs won 3 consecutive ball games, 8 of 9 coming off a 6-1 road trip. The 1-0. Hit well. Right field.
Get foul.
Yeah. And it does. Oh, brother. Gardner with 4 home runs on the season.
And a
Nice
two-seam
reaction.
fastball right in the middle of the plate, top of the strike zone, and he cuts it off at the pass. Gardner with 4 home runs this year, and this one ends up foul. What do they say, Jay? Long strike?
Game of inches. Thank goodness.
One to Gardner.
Try to get back in there again.
2-1. Gardner struck out twice, single to right. Missed away, 3-1. Close. Jeter's on deck. Mariners won all 3 games in New York against the Yankees. Tonight, the first of 3 here in Seattle. 3-1. High fly ball, deep to center field. Jones feeling for the wall. He's there, makes the catch. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD and more than 400 devices. Go to Mariners.com for details. Well, Gardner charged up a couple pitches there, didn't he?
He didn't learn very good, does he? He didn't watch Saunders hit his ball.
Jeter 1 for 2 with a walk. Here's Charlie. Jeter drives one. Deep left center field. Long run. Jones can't get it. One hop over the fence. Ground rule double.
I hope he's all right. There he is.
Jeter went back to make sure he touched first. A double for Jeter with 1 out here in the 8th.
He's going to run it down, Michael.
Well, he had to run a long way. They were playing him towards right center field. That pitch, fastball on the inside corner, and he's not able to get it. As it bounces over, he's going to go out to the pen and get his left-hander to face Ellsbury, the left-handed hitter.
It's just the 3rd hit allowed by Iwakuma. Over the last 7 innings, Jeter stumbled going around first base. And he did get a piece of it, but he went back to make sure. Iwakuma leads to a big ovation from the crowd of 28,405. What a game effort. 2-2 ball game in the 8th. In the 8th, as the Yankees threaten, we take a look at our Columbia Bank difference of the game. Mr. Iwakuma Boyce did a heck of a job.
Struggled through the first couple of innings, gave up 2 runs in the first, and then after that he really settled down. Looked like the Iwakuma we're used to seeing. Will help from his defense.
And even in a rundown, he makes it look like slow motion.
He gets it done.
Had a little PFP tonight out there too, Michael.
Yeah, he made a couple of plays on the mound, but for the most part it was just pitching and a lot of movement on his fastball and his split tonight. A little more defense. Willie Bloomquist helping him out. The 3-6-3 double play. Good pick. Kuma liked it. 7 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. He is responsible for Jeter out at second base right now. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 108 pitches, 69 of those for strikes.
That was a great outing by him. I was impressed the way he started and to grind through it the way he did.
Charlie Furbush on to face Ellsbury. 1 out, 1 on. Strike 1 from Charlie.
Stay right there, baby.
Ellsbury's line to left. Hard hit comeback to Iwakuma and took a called 3rd strike. Jones moving over towards left center field. Charlie in the windup. Breaking ball for strike 2.
Paint.
Yeah,
how's that
2
looking?
perfect pitches. Tough.
Joe Girardi's club lost consecutive games and lost 7 of the last 10. And McClendon, Trent Hewitt checking the numbers. 0-2 from Charlie. Lined into the gap. Base hit. Jeter around 3rd. He's going to score. 3-2 Yankees. RBI Ellsbury, his 26th. On an 0-2 count.
That is a professional AB right there. Paint, doesn't panic, stays within himself, and comes up with a big knock right there.
And Charlie trying to throw this pitch. It's a fastball. A good fastball for Charlie at 93. Trying to throw it off the plate away. You can see Zunino reach back for it as it goes to the middle of the plate.
Caught too much of the plate, Michael.
That run charged to Iwakuma. Ellsbury now with a 14-game inning streak. Teixeira, the hitter, turnaround hit right-handed. Gravis Medina heating up. Up the middle, Cano's there. Throw to first. Got him. Double play.
Like it. I don't think he made it to the bag. I think he plugged, pulled his arms back.
Cano with the great arm.
How about that deflection right to his hand? That's what's
How about
impressive.
the way he was already ready to throw before he caught the ball?
And you're right, Jay. His hand did plug as he's diving back in. A much-needed double play, no doubt about it. Mike Malinsky on the call at first base. recognizes those who, despite their own needs, put others first. By 22 Jump Street, in theaters June 13th. By Vern Fonk Insurance. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man, Vern Fonk Insurance. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. Beautiful night here in the Emerald City. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and Mariners Hall of Famer Jay Buhner with you, along with the Root Sports crew. Mariners looking to rally here after the Yankees just take a 3-2 lead. And the Mariners will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Jacoby Ellsbury singling home Derek Jeter, who got a one-out ground rule double. Adam Warren takes over on the mound, the third Yankee pitcher tonight.
And he has pitched well this year. 29th appearance, 2.38 ERA, 32 strikeouts in 34 innings. Opponents hitting 244 off him. He's given up a couple of home runs.
James Jones to lead it off, followed by Robinson Cano and Andy Chavez. 2, 3, and 4.
Before James, there's some holes in the infield. Solarte, the third baseman, having to play in on the grass. Teixeira trying to take the double away, so he's on the line and playing even with the bag. They really had to shorten up because of the speed of Jones.
James fouls it off. 2-1. James tonight's lined out to second, grounded out to second, and struck out.
I like that little bunny drop down the other night. That he took it with him right at the second baseman. That's a deadly play right there. Huge communication between second baseman and first baseman.
I think, Jay, with his speed, I don't think it would matter.
I know.
To communicate all you want, you're not going to get him. The foul ball probably takes it out of play.
Yeah.
1-run Yankee lead. 2-2 count here to Jones. Bouncing ball to Roberts. Veteran second baseman throws him out. One away. Here's Angie Mente.
Guys, thanks. This is your last chance to win an exciting prize just by interacting with us on Twitter. Our final question, using hashtag RootQ6, tell us how many combined at-bats will be recorded in tonight's game by both teams. This is for your chance to win an Asashi Iwakuma autographed baseball. Thanks to everybody who's participating in tonight's installment of Twitter Tuesday. Make sure you follow us on Twitter for exclusive offers, giveaways, and the latest programming highlights. Guys.
All right, Nancy, thank you. Here's Robinson Cano, third leading hitter in the American League. 1 for 3, double to left, and scored in the first inning. Still looking for that first safe goal field home run. Both his home runs have come down at Globe Life in Arlington, Texas. One in each of the Mariners' first 2 trips down there. 1-0 from Warren. In there for strike. One, Arabi. Ooh, throw it, duck special, base hit. That barrel to it.
Yes, he did.
And he hit a good pitch. That pitch was down out of the strike zone.
Adam Warren might have seen his life flash in front of him. Young man out of New Bern High School in New Bern, North Carolina. Went to the University of North Carolina. Third year in the big leagues.
It's a nice piece of hitting, though. I don't even know if that's a strike.
I don't think it is. I think it's down.
That'd be the reason why he's hitting 333.
Good point, Jay.
Went out on a limb on that.
Here is Andy Chavez. 1 out, 1 on. Chavez came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning for Cole Gillespie. Got to start at DH in his first opportunity as a cleanup hitter for the Mariners.
Shock the world, Indy, right here. Come on.
Strike one.
Good pitch right there.
Three runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Mariners. Big swing and a miss by Andy. 0-2.
He's trying to put the Mariners in the lead with one swing, wasn't he?
To Andy. It's a crowd groaning on that one.
Well, because McCann didn't have to move his glove, but he was in the other batter's box.
1-2. Andy Chavez, the hitter. Just got a piece of it right off the hand of McCann. 1-2.
Too close to take. Bottom of the strike zone. And he gets a piece of it. 82 miles an hour.
I bet Brian gets that hand tucked back behind him a little bit more this time, too. Good way to break a finger.
Andy, a big hero on Sunday. 9th inning, 2-out rally by the Mariners. Got a 1-2 pitch. Popped it up. Going back is Roberts. 2 away. And bring up Kyle Seager. 1 for 3. Robbed by Ichiro in the second, base hit the center in the 4th, and a ground out in the 7th.
Kyle's had some good at-bats. We talked about his bad luck on the road, and had a little bit of that in this one. Ichiro robbing him of a base hit. Kyle leads the club in home runs with 9 and RBIs with 39. 10 would look a lot better right now, wouldn't it? 10 home runs.
You're here.
40 would look a lot better than 39. Or 41.
Yeah.
Where can we sign for that?
Right here.
Ball 1 to Kyle. Started the night really good numbers against the Yankees this season at .462 with a homer and 3 runs batted in.
And that average is slowly sneaking up, putting together some quality ABs.
Well, he had it up to 270, and then the road trip was a killer for him. But it wasn't because he wasn't swinging well. Just missed that one.
Backing up Roberts. Makes the play. Mariners strand a runner in the 8th. 3-2 Yankees. 3-2 Yankees as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And Charlie Furbush continues on. Carlos Beltran will turn around, bat right-handed. Beltran, McCann, and Solarte. 5, 6, 7. You're in the 9th inning.
And it looks like David Robertson getting loose in the pen for the Yankees.
Charlie came on in the 8th inning in relief of Iwakuma. As you look at Robertson, gave up an RBI single to Jacoby Ellsbury. Scored Derek Jeter. Go ahead run. Fastball. Charlie 1 and 2 to Beltran. A 2 for 3 night for Carlos with an RBI. Struck him out. Great pitch by Charlie. 1 out.
He wanted to bury the slider down and in, and he gets it there. Throw it right at his back foot. Beltran swings over the top of it.
Put the shift on here for Brian McCann. Kyle Seager going over to the second base side. It's a Cano. 2-way. Here's Angie Mentek. Angie.
Guys, thanks so much. Asashi Iwakuma was fantastic again tonight, and the pitching staff as a whole has been really good, and they may actually even get stronger in the future. Taijuan Walker making his 3rd rehab start this evening, and he took a nice stride forward. He went 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs. It was his longest outing since starting his rehab assignment, and reports from Memphis were that Taijuan had much better command last night. Guys? That
is outstanding news. Thank you, Angie.
Well, his last start, a couple solo home runs, so that's not that big a deal, really. And you guys know he's trying to work on certain pitches. And kid's an athlete. Yeah, kid's an athlete, man. Whew, he is a specimen. And I mean, saw him walking through the training room, and I think he got even bigger.
I agree with you.
I mean, seriously, I mean, he grew a little bit more and looked like he's been eating weights, and the kid is just a specimen. He's going to be a good one.
Would you say Mike could be, it's almost like getting a free agent if he comes back second half, right? Comes back dealing.
Yeah, I think the goal right now is when you get him back to make sure that he stays here.
Here. Yep.
Don't be in such a hurry.
Him and Paxton both,
right? Exactly.
2-1 to Solarte. Just 3 times grounded out to Robinson Cano.
This kid's done a nice job for the Yankees, too.
He's played well. Came into the game hitting .299 with 6 home runs.
An ex-Ranger product, is that right?
7 assists tonight for Cano.
I don't think he's going to play over AB at third base, but.
Ooh, that hit him? I think it did. Yep, it did. Run off the pane.
Well, slider.
Tried to bury it on the back foot, and he buried it on the back foot.
Yes, he did. Just wasn't able to get him to swing at it.
Brings up Ichiro, who's 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to left and a ground out to second base.
Reminds me of big unit Mr. Snappy. Had a tendency to do that a few times.
My daddy named me Ichiro. How about that? Strike 1 from Charlie. Angels and A's tied 1-1, bottom of the 8th in Anaheim. Good pitch from Charlie. He's ahead 0-2.
That was pretty nasty frisbee right there.
A perfect pitch right on the outside corner. Bottom of the strike zone.
Oh, and 2 to Ichiro. Mariners playing Ichiro shallow and towards the left. Ackley shading towards that line. See Jones in center. Ferber's trying to shut the door here in the ninth, give the Mariners a chance to win it in the bottom half of the inning. 1-2 to Ichiro. Got him looking. Good job by Charlie Furbush. He freezes Ichiro for out number 3 here in the ninth inning. Coming up in the home ninth, chance to win it. Mike Zunino, Michael Saunders, Dustin Ackley got to tie it first, but a chance to win nonetheless here in the bottom of the ninth. Ninth inning. This is the first of a 3-game set here with the Bronx Bombers in Seattle. And the Yankees go to their closer, David Robertson.
Good cut fastball. He'll be in the low 90s with that fastball. He will get Zunino, Saunders, and Ackley due up.
That's just not a fastball either.
No, it's good cut fastball.
Yep.
Yeah, throw the cutter up there.
Wonder where he learned that from.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking over from Mariano Rivera, who ended his career after last season. En route to the Hall of Fame.
14 saves and 16 opportunities, a 3.86 ERA, 36 strikeouts in 21 innings. Opponents hitting 200 off of him. He has given up 3 home runs this year.
Well, good. Let's make it Quattro.
Blip and a blast. Get out of here.
Believe it. I like it.
So Mike Zunino's going to lead it off. Mike with the double to the base of the right center field fence back in the second inning. Since then, a fly out the left, hit by a pitch, and scored in the 7th inning to tie it up. The RBI by Dustin Ackley. First pitch, strike, fouled off. Don't forget game 2 tomorrow night. Chris Young against Masahiro Tanaka. 0-1 to Zunino. Hit foul. Girardi's ball club's lost its last 2 games and 7 of the last 10. Zunino 0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Able to lay off it.
Oh boy.
I always thought with Robertson, he looks like he's throwing harder than he actually is. He's 91 to 93. It looks like he's throwing much harder than that.
Over the top downhill play.
Yeah, exactly.
2-2 to Zunino.
Good at bat.
This is a great AB, especially that lay off that high fastball.
Full count. Michael Saunders on deck. Hope that's not a tattoo. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. 1 down.
He saves the cutter for last, doesn't he?
And he paints with it.
Yes, he did.
Throws him a perfect pitch. 92-mile-an-hour cutter right on the outside corner, and he's able to keep it at the knees. Not going to do much with that.
Take a look at our Subway box score here at Safeco Field with the Mariners back in town. Gillespie and Ackley with the RBIs here this evening. Saunders like to get on the board right here. Strike 1. Michael tonight has struck out, fly deep to center field and struck out. Off the fist. Robertson ahead, 0-2. Bounce it up there. Derek Jeter got a base hit in the first and scored. Jacoby Ellsbury's made some outstanding defensive plays and drove in the third run, the go-ahead run for the Yankees. That came in the 8th inning. And now Michael Saunders trying to solve David Robertson. Did go, and it's strike 3, and there's 2 away. Plate umpire Chris Siegel. He did.
He went too far.
Yeah, he did.
But again, you were talking about it earlier, Jay. He's trying to cheat, trying to get that cutter off of his hands, and he ends up throwing. Looked like it was a hard slider or a split down in the dirt. Just trying to cut fastball off.
So the Mariners down to their last out. Bottom 9, 3-2 Yankees. Dustin Ackley the hitter. And Robertson gets ahead. 0-1.
That's why you got to jump on that first pitch. Even though it's down, you got to jump on that. It seems to be the best pitch over the hit. Yep.
Three-two ball game. 2 outs. Bottom 9. Yankees up a run. 0-1 to Ackley. Pitch away. 1-1.
Yep, because now he can expand the zone as much as he wants.
Good ball game here tonight. One for Robertson. 2-1. Derek Jeter, last series, is an active player here in Seattle. He scored the go-ahead run in the 8th. 2-1. 3-1 to Ackley. Brad Miller on deck. Brad got an infield hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. 3-1 from Robertson. Pitch to Ackley. Ball 4. Tying runs aboard with 2 outs. Brad Miller a couple of nights ago with 2 outs and an 0-2 count with a triple. They're going to go with a pinch hitter now. That's going to be John Buck.
Buck with a big home run in Atlanta. 2-run homer at that. Give the Mariners the lead and win that game. And he's been swinging the bat well. I think sometimes, too, with the right-handed hitter, Jay, it can help you out with that cut fastball. Get it off the hands of the lefty. And, of course, Buck with some power. You mentioned it earlier. 16 home runs last year. Hit his first home run on this road trip. So Lloyd McClendon going to go with Buck here to see maybe he can hit one in the gap or out of the ballpark.
Pitching coach Larry Rothschild out to speak with Robertson.
And you mentioned it earlier, Lloyd's got a pretty nice bench over there, and some guys have had an opportunity to play in some games, so they're staying pretty fresh. You got Romero over there, hit a 3-run home run the other day. It's a pretty nice luxury to have.
First pinch hit opportunity here for Buck. And no Rodney heating up just in case. John Buck, they can ride one out of here. Strike 1. John's playing in his 17th game, a .245 hitter with a homer and 4 runs batted in. And he's behind 0-2.
2 off-speed pitches, has not thrown him the good cut fastball yet. There you go, both these pitches down in the zone.
Mariners down to their last strike. 2 outs. Tying run at first. The 0-2 from Robertson to John Buck. Up high for ball 1. Lee Blomquist on deck. Buck can keep this thing going. Outfield deep, shading Buck towards right center. A 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. That's the ball game. Yankees win it 3-2. Ends the Mariners' 3-game win streak and ends the Yankees' 2-game losing skid. As Derek Jeter and company come in, Betances picks up the win. Iwakuma the loss, and Robertson the save in 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Well pitched game by Iwakuma. The Mariners had some opportunities, Jay, early in the game. Runners on third, less than 2 out. We're not able to pick them up. And that was the difference in this one, which turned out to be a well-pitched game all the way around.
Yankees outfielders making some big plays in the outfield for him tonight. So,
Jay Buhner, pleasure as always. Chopper, good to see you, pal.
See you guys on the 16th.
Right. Get better, Mike. And let's send you out to center field. Mariners post-game show. Brett Adam and Bill Kruger.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. You see Ichiro slapping 5, getting congratulations, waving to the fans. Yankees take game 1 of the set. Jay Buhner said some good outfield play. We'll talk with Jay Buhner about that. Bill, talk pitching with you. I know Kuma gets a loss, but nice to see him go back out there for the 8th, go over 100 pitches and try to finish off that inning.
Yeah, he's one of your horses. You want to see if you can win a ball game. You want your best on the mound. That certainly was Iwakuma. After the first inning, he was mighty tough, made some great adjustments, threw a lot of fastballs after they were smelling that changeup, chasing the ball away a little bit, getting base hits. He made a nice adjustment, kind of even the playing field, pitched well into the 8th inning.
Speaking of that 8th inning, the kind of fateful inning, they push across 1 run. The Yankees do to break that 2-2 tie. Derek Jeter had himself a nice night. This was a gapper off Kuma there. A double just out of the reach of Jones, and then Ellsbury comes up against Furbush.
Took the first 2 pitches, got 0-2 on him, And there's just a fatal mistake by Charlie Furbush, trying to paint him away with a fastball, left it middle in, and Ellsbury hit 3 balls right on the nose, the third one being the decisive blow with the base hit to drive Jeter in. And they didn't pay him the big bucks for nothing, Brad.
True, the Oregon State grad coming through. And Jeter again, pregame ceremony, last series here as an active player. Scored twice, got a couple of knocks, and yeah, a lot of Jeter fans out there. We're allowing it this series. You know, normally Yankee fans are like, who are you guys, coming out of the woodwork? But for Jeter, I guess it's A-OK. The captain got it done. He scored the winning run in the 8th inning. Yankees take a 3-2. We're back with Jay talking outfield, talking Cano on the postgame.